And we are back with round 3 of MayHAM 2024 at Game Nights. I'm really excited for this match right here. We have, wow, we have Mono Blue Teferi with Brandon, who's one of my best buddies. He's the one who actually got me started on Dargo Timna, so big fan there. And another good friend, local here, on Pako Haldan, which is spicy. I love that deck. Like, it is such a fun deck to do. Magda in seat 4, and then in seat 1, Kirkland Brown on a Gruul. I think this is one of those like background decks? Question mark. I can't really tell what's the seat 1. What's their commanders? I'm having my producer update me on all this. Feel bad I can't tell you exactly what it is right now, but I am super excited for this pod right now. Street Urchin and Erinis? This is a background, right? Yeah, what on earth does this do?
I don't know, but I'm your co-caster.
Oh, you are my co-caster for this stream. Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, a new co-caster for this round. I'm super excited. He knows so much more about Magic than I do.
It's just Kyle.
Just Kyle joining us. Kyle, what's up, man?
How's it going, dude?
First of all, you've been like such a good producer, man.
I thank you.
Yeah, like been so patient with me. I am technology not savvy, so he had to see me like type in these names like peck and time, and it was horrible. It was horrible. But so what does this Gruul deck do?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, this is exciting. Right now we have all 4 of these players are at 6 points. It looks like I have Kirkland Brown at 6, Brandon at 6, Anna at 6, and Chris Voss at 6 points. Each with a draw and a win apiece. Yeah.
Nice. I think so.
Yeah, that's what.
So we've got Big Teferi, got Dago and Best Friend, got Magda, and then ones that we didn't know, Erinis Gloomstalker. The 3-mana 3/3 Death Touch. When it attacks, you return a land card from your graveyard to the battle.
Interesting. And what does the background do for us?
The background is called Street Urchin. Figure out what that is.
Street Urchin.
If I could type.
This game is huge.
Street Urchin says commander creatures you control have pay 1, sacrifice another creature or artifact to deal 1 damage to any target.
Interesting. With the Gruul artifact sacking and a land recursion idea, what you think he's probably going to go for that fetch land and just keep getting basics out? Like, that has to be the it.
Or, hear me out, artifact lands.
Oh,
You attack,
okay.
get your artifact land, you pay 1, sack an artifact to deal 1 damage to any target.
Oh, that's spicy. I like that a lot, actually. You know who's really going to hate that, though? Like, really hate that? Is Magda.
Yeah.
Magda's not having fun with this. I'm telling you, Magda recently went to a tournament 2 weeks ago, played against a Roxanne, and that just, like, it really hosed Magda.
Bro, I love Roxanne so much. Just, I'm gonna throw meteorites in play.
Oh, dude, so cool.
What are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna cast Food Chain. I'm gonna make infinite mana. I'm gonna just throw rocks into play.
Oh, throw rocks at you. That's what I do. That fact, and they stay on the battlefield to me is like, that's wild.
Yes, and it's basically just worse Kennen, kinda. You have the doubling mana for treasures and the meteorites, but there's no real outlet, so you just play Food Chain. It's like, well, I got all this mana. What do I do with all this mana? I've got like Green Sun and Finale and Invasion. Just go grab whatever I need and just try to win.
I mean, the problem is that I see a lot is Dockside count.
Yeah.
Yo, Black Lotus, showing up from Kyle. Hi, Kyle.
Black Lotus. Hi, Black.
So we have Teferi on 7, it looks like, or 6?
Not 7.
7? Okay. Yeah, could you imagine a math teacher not being able to? It's wild.
I'm gonna just give it the fact that it's a black sleeves on a black background.
Yeah. Now, you've played against a lot of these guys. You're a local here. You played against a lot of these players. What are your thoughts about this pod right now? Like, what are you looking at to see? Like, what are you hoping to see?
So I'm excited to see Big Teferi.
Yeah.
Big Teferi has not been in the meta from at least our local meta and for what I've seen in the global cEDH meta for a minute. It's got a lot of new tools. So I'm looking forward to see what it does. Haldan Pako, personal favorite. I like taking all the turns, and it's just a huge that has haste for 5 mana 3/3 that could be a 6/6 or even higher. So interested to see what that does. Magda, kind of an underdog. I know this Magda player in particular, Chris Bose. I think was in top 16 last time, and it was one of those rounds where it went on forever because Magda just had the entire game won.
Really?
Yeah, like he had a lot of just weird and wacky stuff, just making it really hard for everyone. And Kirkland, I haven't seen these commanders before, so I'm really excited to see what they can do. I'm hoping that he does like the artifact lands, tap it, sack it, get it back,
Sure.
just churn.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's a lot of fun. I think honestly, the fact that all these decks are really they're not the mainstay decks that we see a lot of. No
Yes.
Kitten, no Sisei, no Blue Form. Pako and Haldan being the goodest boy.
Yes.
Very fun. That Teferi deck though, I have played against him on that deck. It is scary. It is super scary. Like he goes from 0 to 100 real quick.
And something else interesting about this pod: there's no black, there's no
Ooh.
white,
No silence effects, and
no search restriction.
That's wild. That's wild.
We got Brandon doing gemstone cavern stuff.
Pre-game action.
He said, "I don't want to be. I'm glad I'm not first. I get to."
So Gemstone Caverns, why it's so good, right? Does it to me? It makes it feel like actually the turn order just changed.
Yes. Also, just depends on what they pitched. So, like, Brandon just pitched, which is kind of the weaker of his counter spells.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I know that whenever I was playing Gemstone Caverns, I always would want to pitch a land.
Sure.
But I've now disciplined myself to pitch something else. So just being able to get that one turn of mana faster, even with counter rocks and stuff ahead of your opponent, and it just allows you to open interaction.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
I also think that the blue elemental blast here, there's a lot of red at the table, but Pako Haldan's not really going to care about the red. It stops that, and it stops the Magda, but maybe that's not really what he's caring about right
What I am noticing though is we can't really see
now.
Pod 1's link. I might go out there and try to fix that.
Okay. Well, we have a City of Brass and a Mox Diamond.
City of Brass was pitched to the Mox Diamond.
Okay.
He fetched with a land 39.
And then
Exile Elvish
to get his
Erinis.
There it is. Okay, so we have a turn 1 Soul. Oh my gosh, turn 1 Soul Ring
into.
This is a piece. I believe this is a combo piece. No, it's a Basalt Monolith. I believe it reduces. I wish you had the spell table thing, where you could just click on it. This is a piece that goes with Basalt Monolith going infinite, if I remember correctly.
It's new. It's from the
Outlaw.
I think that's the Murder's Frame.
Yes. All right, so we have a Mana Crypt.
Here, I'm going to
change it up just a touch. Kyle's gonna be right back. Blake, it's interesting you say that. Pako Haldan went undefeated in Swiss in a tournament not that long ago in Nashville. In Swiss did really well. Pako Haldan is not a joke, man. I think not seen a lot, but boy does it go. We have a Magda turn 1 off of Lotus Petal with a mountain. Very nice. This has a cyclic mountain. I love. Oh, Brandon played a what was that? Is that card? Yeah, guilty. I'm looking it up right now. Forensic Gadgeteer. All right, Forensic Gadgeteer. I believe that's the one where, as I was saying, it reduces the Basalt Monolith count for 1. Once it gets moving, it's hard to stop. Anyone? Atali Attorney. I haven't seen new Atali and Attorney yet, but if you told me there was one out there, I would not be shocked.
Right. Forensic Gadgeteer is a 3-mana 2/3. When you cast an artifact spell, investigate. And then, like you said, activate abilities of artifacts cost 1 less.
Yep. So it's essentially a Kinnan piece. It's Kinnan at home. Mom, Dad, can we get Kinnan to activate our assault? We already have a Kinnan, honey. This.
Hey, at least this cannon can eat a shock. Not a bolt though.
Yo, that's true. It can eat a shock. Or not a lightning bolt though. Bolt will kill that. All right, so we have a Taiga.
The Erinis is gonna go to combat and it's gonna get that.
You get that fetch back, yeah.
Either the fetcher's going to get the City of Brass.
Yeah, I mean that's value right there, man. Like say what you want, but that's value. It's like they're getting the fetch back, right? That's a proxy.
Yeah, it's a proxy.
Okay, I'm about to say that's a pretty sick looking card, but
I think it's an Arid Mesa.
It's cool. And we also had a Ragavan from Magda, by the way. Forgot to mention that.
And a clown car.
Oh, and that's how we got the Ragavan. That's already Magda threatening some tap abilities. That's pretty spicy. Guaranteed gonna get what? 2 treasures next turn. That is a thing. Alright, so he fetches, gets a Goblin Engineer. Goblin Engineer was a tutor. We're talking about those tutor effects being a thing, and no tutor restrictions. Already looking for something spicy.
Throw in the 3-ball into the grave, maybe?
That would be really hurt.
And Blake, Kirkland is playing Erinis Street Urchin as the background. Erinis, whenever it attacks, can get back a land or an artifact. Street Urchin is 1 colorless, sacrifice an artifact to deal 1 artifact or another creature to deal 1 damage to any target.
That's an interesting pairing right there. I'm really excited to see what he does. A null rod would shut this down hard. All right, null rod would hit the Soul Ring. It's gonna hit the Clown Car, right?
Yeah, and then it'll hit anything that the 3 Fairy wants to do. It means that Pako has to play all the lands to get out.
Yeah, which is already not where they're at. Like they're already not on that game plan. So yeah, so they essentially have 1 turn to build, and like that's saying a lot. Going to Brandon's turn.
Maybe
tabbing 3.
Aha! He did decide for the 3-ball and not.
Oh, he did decide for the 3. Gilded Lotus. Yo, cEDH stable. Gilded Lotus. Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yes. See, that's the thing about this Teferi deck is like it runs these big mana rocks that you're like, there's no way they're fast enough to play that. Oh no, they do.
They just lean over to like, hey Godo, can I cheat off you real quick? You have a Gilded Lotus and a Thran Dynamo, and you got some keys in there too. Cool. Let me just grab those. But then it has the added benefit of having blue instead of red. So
what's interesting about this 3-ball going into the grave instead of the null rod, like you were mentioning, right? Teferi kind of doesn't care.
Oh yeah.
Teferi is like, okay,
I'll just untap my islands.
Yeah. Not only that, right? Like Teferi already costs everything it needs to win costs 3 already. Yes. So it really is not going to affect this Teferi much at all, in my opinion. Especially with the mana reducer already out.
And then Pako Haldan lost the coin flip and then passed to Magda. So mana crypt, land, go.
But kept above 6 for the mulligan, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So something tells me there's some spice coming on that.
Ragavan said,
Ragavan goes,
I'm the real dog. Bark.
How?
And they got a Legolas's quick reflex.
Wow, what a hit.
Like, what does this card do? It's got split second, it does stuff.
I mean, what it does do is it allows you to tap Magda twice.
That is correct. Like 2 treasures.
When it uses a treasure to use it?
It's almost like a Rite of Flame, but you can't interact with it.
But it costs a green to cast, right?
Yeah. You have to spend the treasure for the green, but you get 2 treasures in return, but then you're tapped down on the board, which allows Erinis to hit you if they want. But, like, depending on what's in Magda's hand, that could be a good trade-off to try to ramp into as many treasures as possible to get to that 5.
Yeah. I mean, once Magda hits that 5, that's the key, right?
Yes. And, or, of course, we don't know what's in your hand, but there's a dock side. I count at least 4 or 5. I count 5 artifacts.
Oh yeah, no, dockside count's already there. We are that ship has sailed. Like we are good to go.
So we got tab in the Magda for a treasure.
With the clown car, right? What an interesting thing that Wizards did. That they said these new cards from this set are all good to play. They're all legal to play. Stuff like clown car, stuff like Saw in Half, right?
Yeah,
that got to be added. Okay, so we're going back? Question mark?
No, we are casting the Legolas's.
Alright, cool. Untaps Magda again, so still netting 1 treasure only. Uh,
And then
and
cards. Pyrohemia pitching a dwarf to probably kill the Goblin Engineer and the Erinis and the Forensic.
oh, that's enough. It's enough to do both. The Goblin Engineer, though, has to sacrifice the Mox Diamond to do what it wants to do.
Yes.
So probably not going to go for that ball quite yet. Oh, he lets it die?
Maybe? Think about it?
Where I can see the current standings. Got a handful of buddies competing today.
Sure.
Yeah, we got that for you, sir.
Let me grab that real quick.
Definitely on Top Deck. Follow it there. We'll post a link for you. Still on
Everybody's trying to post links, and you can't. Because you can't post links unless it's me.
Me, the master.
It can only be me. We did that because we were getting hit with bots really hard earlier in the morning when I was testing.
Well, preventive measures.
The almighty Kyle. I'm in control. We cracking treasures. That is a...
Ginger Brew.
No, it costs 2.
No, so it's not Ginger Brew. It's something.
It costs 2, and it looks like a stuffy doll, but it's not a stuffy doll.
That would be hilarious, though.
I'm gonna look it up. I just know it's. This is why we have technology.
All right, so we're on to Kirkland's turn.
Okay, confirm, not stuffy doll.
Fun fact: Kirkland not sponsored by Costco.
Secret lair.
Huh? We'll have to figure it
Got 4 counters on it.
Whatever.
Oh, it's a Tangle Wire.
Oh, that's a Magda card. That's a thing. Yeah.
I had to think about that. It's like, what has 4 counters? Oh, it's Tangle.
When's the last time I actually saw a Tangle Wire? That's crazy. Yeah, I mean Tangle Wire, another really powerful Magda piece. Like that is the go-to, right? Yeah, there it is.
They made a secret lair Tangle Wire.
Yeah.
Oh.
Say less.
Gonna add that to the collection.
Yeah. Cart. Add.
What secret lair trouble? I'll figure that out later.
Alright, so Kirkland, just tapping out and passing because of that Tangle Wire, really slowing things down right there. Plus the Pyrohemia is what it's called, right?
Yes.
Yeah, slowing down both the Teferi and the Gruul deck. Surprised yet.
They're cutting and shuffling, and they are now surveilling with Commercial District.
Hey.
See if they put anything in the graveyard.
How do you feel about the Surveil lands right now?
I love them.
Yeah.
Having a fetchable, check the top card is something that I want, or if you want to tutor up something at the top and then throw it in the graveyard, amazing. We always joke about Gamble being Red Entomb, but just having a way to top deck tutor anything in whatever color that you're in, and then immediately throw it in the graveyard if you need. It's supreme.
So I've been thinking about running it, but I only run 24 lands. It's really rough.
In which deck?
Dardu.
And Dardu? I could see not running it. But if you're in the 30 land count area.
Oh yeah, you're slamming that. Slam. Absolutely.
Oh, this is just not a basic anymore. Decks that don't want basics, or if you're running the onesie or twosies.
You know, we have a Wiggrace player out there. He runs all the surveillance.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, who would have thought, right?
Oh yeah, it's just I just want to feed my graveyard, get more lands on my graveyard,
and then get more lands out of it. Yeah, so we have. I think they were discussing that being tapped down. That Goblin Engineer also had to be tapped down for the Tangle Wire because it was 4 permanents.
Yeah.
Again, really slowing down. I know the Trinisphere was a play to slow everyone down too, but Tangle Wire really gonna do work here.
Brandon tapping the lands in the Soul Ring, keeping the Gilded Lotus.
That's 3 mana.
Sure.
Yeah, that is 3 mana right there.
Efficient tapping of things.
Yes.
And City Traders, that's 5.
That's 5 mana.
We're doing math here, folks. We cast them for 5 mana. We're thinking about it.
Nothing.
Whoa. We were thinking about it, then we weren't.
No Warstone? just absolutely ramping out right
Listen,
now.
I thought we were. Are we sure we're not playing Godo? Never mind. That is a walking ballista.
That's a walking ballista. Yeah. Like, what do you mean, treasonous ogre? A walking ballista also really a solid hit here because one, it's on 2, right? Because he tapped for 4 mana to do it, and Magda is a what 2/1.
It is a 2/1.
So yeah, at the end step, I'm gonna blast that Magda. Boo! There it is. Pew pew.
Notably, the Haldan Pako player did not
Lose the flip.
lose the flip.
Yeah, but also tapped out. Tangle wire taps. There you go. So, Tangle Wire taps down Tangle Wire, Clown Car, and the Mountain. Ragavan notably being open right now could still get another treasure. Just keeps grinding on that route.
Could be politics like, hey, if you don't hit me, then I won't kill your Ragavan.
Yeah, I mean that is definitely a thing. What's also scary about this is that Walking Ballista can continue to add counters as needed, right?
Yes.
So every time he's like, oh, I'll just add a counter. I'll just add another counter. And Magda's just not going to be on the board.
No.
Magda, for how much success it's been seeing lately, right? It's so easy to kill. Like, there's so much removal now.
Yes, and it's one of those that I think in a pod, Magda is one of those where if you leave it alone, will run away with the game because you've got Blue Farm, you've got Cannon, you've got other things you want to focus on.
Sure.
And you can kill Magda all day long, but if you're focusing on, I don't want Blue Farm to win, I don't want Cannon to win, I don't want Sisay to win.
Magda just sneaks in.
Magda's like, I'm just making treasures. Don't look at
Don't
me.
mind me. I'm just a little dwarfy boy.
I'm just gonna keep casting dwarves and then crewing this clown car multiple times, making all these treasures. And oop, here's a Godfair statue. Here's a portal to Phyrexia. Here's whatever I need.
So right now in the standings, we have Andrew, Freddie, Harley, and Skylar in 1 through 4 places with 10 points apiece. What next one they running right now? I know Andrew was in our last game. Just say Freddie, Skylar. I'm not sure.
Freddie should be on Sisay because that's what I think. If that's the same Freddie as last time, old non-play matless Freddie is playing Sisay. Or should be. I'm gonna double check.
Playmatless Freddy.
Bro, he was not playing with the playmat like everyone else.
No, dude,
and
what
just,
a barbarian. Literal.
Go fund me for a playmat.
Yo, Game Night. Hit him up. Sponsor that boy.
True.
Game Night. What's up?
Stuff like that in the works.
Yo, say less. Oh my goodness.
A little bit of sneak preview. We might have stuff like that down the pipeline. Some Game Night merchant.
Merch. All right, so we're on Orcish Lumberjack. I love Orcish Lumberjack. That card is gas. Tangle Wire still doing its thing, but like still able to cast that Orcish, right? With that extra there. The land drop really helped out. Orcish Lumberjack really gives you 4 mana for the price of 1 land, which, oh, look, your commander already gets back for you. Sounds like value to me. Brandon go to his turn, tapping out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana to add counters to Walking Ballista.
Yes.
We're just talking about this, right? Walking Ballista just doing its thing, right? He did have to tap down for Tangle Wire. Forgot about that tidbit.
Yeah, but adding 4 counters on my Walking Ballista, insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, I'm tapped out, but I have this giant thing that will just
literally
kill the board.
Yeah, it just kills the board at this point, right? Orcish Lumberjacks is a 1/1. So, going to Anna's turn again. Tangle Wire will once again top everything down. So, want to do the flip? Yes.
How are we looking? How are we doing stuff?
It's either an end step or on upkeep.
Thinking about it.
Something tells me Anna's thinking about playing a card at the end step so she does not have to tap down everything. Ooh, we got a lightning bolt.
Lightning bolting the Walking Ballista. Well, said, you know what? I'm gonna start killing things.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna lose it anyway.
And then I came a blast and just
pew pew.
Where do I want to put the last counter?
I mean, yeah. Pew, right, Nana. Pow pow. All right, loses the flip, down to 31, tapping out. We out. Land drop possibly, hopefully. Yeah, Pako Haldan really getting screwed on the mana here is rough. Tangle Wire untapping, right? So Tangle Wire
discarding 3 visits for Paldo Hawk and play.
I'm sorry, did you say 3 visits? As in like the ramp, like get a forest?
Oh yeah. Pako Haldan plays like all of 3 visits and Nature's Lore and all that stuff.
Yo, I'm a fan. I'm immediately a fan.
Because I mean it's just like, oh, 2 mana, just go put another land into play? Absolutely. Just
Sure.
tempo out these land drops the best that I can just to play bigger spells later.
So in this position right now, Tangle Wire was doing its job until Magda went away. Teferi's in a really good position.
I do believe the Hollow Pocket player is sharing their hand with the role player to be like, hey, I've got stuff going on, but I've got like no help. Help me. What is happening?
I think the rule changing, like that happened what? A couple weeks ago, a month ago, about like being able to share information at will. Like it's kind of already a thing, but now it's like written down as like an official rule.
It's like, hey, like we know that you were already doing this, but let's actually make a ruling on it. That way, it's not ambiguous to everybody.
Right, and it's not like, well, it's not fair or anything like that. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. By the way, automaton, right?
Is that what universal automaton.
I'm wondering what he called. Oh, it's changeling. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what he wants it to be then.
A ninja.
Oh, so tech the Yuriko tech?
Oh yeah, in your mono red Magda deck.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Only 2 counters on the Tangle Wire. Tap down a land. Tap down the Goblin Engineer. Said, I'm not getting stuff in the graveyard.
Yeah, I think hitting that Orcish not Bowmaster, Orcish Lumberjack really set him back because he could have been at 5 mana right now.
Yes,
and now he's at 2. That is, for those of you not big math, that's less than half what he was originally going to go for. So definitely a different pace change again. And again, Teferi untaps with like 6
billion mana.
Yeah, enough to do what he wants. Plus, untapping with Teferi.
Yes, I see a Teferi cast and activation in a future turn.
Future.
So we did confirm, at least I'm getting slowly the top 4 that we were talking about earlier. Skylar's on Blue Farm, Harley is on Marnius Calgar, Freddy is on Sisay, and then I'm eventually getting what's in first seed, which is Andrew, which he was on camera earlier, I think.
No, yeah, he was Sisay as well.
Right. So we have 2 Sisays, a Marnius, and a Blue Farm currently.
Harley switching to Marnius, back to Marnius. Was on Kenrith for a while. I really like her back on Marnius, to be honest with you. She's a really good pilot.
We had a Delighted Halfling and a Torch Courier.
Torch Courier, which is a haste enabler, correct?
Yes, so that tells me that there is some Snoop lines.
Snoopy doop. Alright. When's the last time you saw a Snoop line win a game?
When I was playing Minx and Boo like 6 months ago.
Alright. Well, the last time I saw that, I was a young warhog. Let's put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Alright, so remember how we were talking about casting that Teferi? There's a Teferi.
It's here.
It's here.
It's big. We're passing priorities.
And yo, Brandon with all the signed cards.
He said, wait a minute.
Yeah, wait. What? Not a lot of people, like you said, Teferi hasn't been played in a while, right?
Right.
So like, some people may not know.
Brandon just showed his glasses on the stream. He was like, look at these glasses. Do you need to read this?
Yeah.
So aggressive. Brandon, you need to calm down. I'm gonna come over there and advocate for our play. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No bullying at tables. This is not good for our community. Actually, Brandon's like one of the nicest guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, what does this card do? It's so shiny and it's signed.
Yeah. Oh, your stuff is signed and shiny. Brandon being quite the collection that dude has. Is wild.
I'm hoping that it's the upticks is the only part of Teferi that I remember.
It's on top 4 permanents, yes?
I think so. I thought it was islands.
Oh, it's permanents. Warthogs are adorable. That's a fact. Zorowski, and I will fight people who say no. Just straight up.
Yeah, or sorry, the minus is untap 4 permanents. The plus is to look at the top 2, 1 in the hand, 1 in the bottom. So it's a kind of anticipate.
So it's card advantage and mana advantage all in 1 card?
Yes, and it starts out with 5 loyalty, so there's nothing in play that are just going to like mow it down unless Pako decides that it wants to get in the game.
The 3-ball comes out, and the Gruul player is like, but I wanted to do the 3-ball. And Teferi's like, yeah, it's cool, dude. I'll do it for you. No problems.
I'm totally. I'm cool with that. Sitting here.
Yeah.
Whoa! Force of will pitching.
Pitching. Revisits.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a turn spell.
Ooh.
Beacon of Tomorrow.
I think it's that the blue put on.
Nope, it was Stubborn to Know.
Oh, Stubborn Now is the one where it costs less if you have a 4 or greater, right?
If it's 4 greater, it's a hard counter. Otherwise, it's a force spike.
Okay. Okay.
So like you play Pako, you swing, it automatically turns out 1 mana hard counter.
So interesting. The force was on the 3-ball, right? Not the Teferi.
And then tap their permanents and pass. After winning the mana flip. The mana crypt flip.
Yep, interesting. And I believe Brandon did not untap. He used +1.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's digging. He's digging for stuff.
Gotta find that chain veil.
I'm telling you, I've seen that deck go from like, cast a Fury and dig about 70 cards.
Yeah.
In a turn. Like, easily doing that. We're on Magda again. We're going to swing at Teferi. Do him. Punch it right in the mouth.
Do it. Just
do it.
You can't have that +1.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, that you netted neutral on that, sucker.
What are we gonna do about it? These other 1X's on Kirkland's side probably also gonna hit Teferi.
I would imagine, but he does have the mana to get his commander back out, which is something, right?
He's like, hey, if you tap your creatures, you can't attack the Teferi. Maybe you should tap down your mana. Solid politicking.
Yes.
He said, wait a minute.
I think he was about to swing at Magda.
He's like, no, bro. No, bro, I got this.
Watch me work. Look.
I just want more mana.
Yep.
Draw a card.
Yeah.
I've made my decision.
I definitely lost to Brandon not that long ago, where he's like, dude, I'm not going to win on next turn. Like, you should stop this thing. So I stopped the thing. And you know what he did next turn?
He won.
Yeah. He did do that. That was, in fact, what he did.
He was like, I win?
Question mark? I didn't see the line. Oh, we've heard that before.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's some controversial takes.
Yeah.
I didn't see the line, guys.
I didn't see the line. But
what
you know what?
What are we going to do?
But what do we always say in cEDH? Don't trust. You're in a tournament. Don't trust your opponent. No. They're not here to help you. Despite what the blue player says, he is not there to help you.
Classic Brandon move.
Yeah.
What we doing? What we doing with Kirkland?
Yeah, I just overheard Brandon. I have too much mana and nothing to do with it. I don't believe it for a second.
That is a Manglehorn.
Manglehorn, huge here.
What do you kill?
I would take out the Gilded Lotus. That's 3 mana on the board right there. Oh,
subtlety, pitching a Seagate restoration.
Interesting. So it puts it on top of the library, yes?
I think they get to choose top or bottom.
Top or bottom.
I
would imagine. So. I would assume he's going to put it on top because that's a really good card against this right now. It also tells me that if he's trying to get rid of the Manglehorn, that's going to slow Brandon down just a tad. Brandon thinks he cares about this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially because like Teferi untaps it anyway, so he doesn't care about the untap. He cares about the mana right now.
Yes. Looks like they're letting it resolve.
Question mark.
He decided to put it on the bottom.
Ooh.
Said Manglehorn, I don't need you.
Interesting.
It was a nice thing to have, but
out. Beat it.
I think we're just gonna smack Teferi a bunch.
Yep. See, but again, Teferi has so much mana. Like, okay, just recast Teferi.
Very true.
How many cards does he have in hand?
One. I think he had the 2, which was a subtlety plus pitch. Now he's at 1 card.
Uno card.
1 card and a dream. A Brandon Lucia story.
I buy the book. I buy it.
He did plus.
Alright, so he's gonna. It's not called looting, right? No, you said. What did you say earlier?
It's anticipating.
Anticipating.
Or it could be like preordaining.
Yeah. All right, on to Pako Haldan. Winning the crypt flip. Only having to tap down one thing has red open now. Ew. I think it's the first time that she's had mana open in like 4 turns.
Beating those 50-50 flips recently. Missed a handful. We're getting there.
Yeah. You still got 30. You still got 10 turn clock, right?
Yeah.
Fine, you're fine.
I just passed the turns. Like, all right.
Well, I mean, at the pace of this game, it will hit that 10 turn mark.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tangwar finally has no counters on it.
Is there a way to flicker Tangle Wire that deck?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, in red.
Unless you weld it away.
Oh, that's spicy.
But then you have to like have a welder, and then you want something in your graveyard.
Then you have to wait a turn, wait 2 turns because you have to weld it. It's a lot of setup. That's a lot of setup. We're tapping
3 mana.
3 mana, not a Magda. It's a Jessica's Will. Probably looking at Anna here, who has not cast a lot of cards. So,
But we're doing mana.
yeah, so 7. I would imagine it's for mana.
It's at least more than 3.
Facts. It is definitely more than 3.
2? The number 2?
Second option. I'm hoping. If they're going off the top here,
I would be very confused.
yeah, that's cooking.
We dig real deep. We're sharing information again.
Huh? Ooh.
Actively sharing information across the board.
I will say, Anna has. That happens a lot in Anna's games when I've played with her. Is that people just kind of figure out what people are doing in each other's hands. But she's so good at knowing when to interact because she has that information.
Like, hey, I know you're not doing anything. You have 7 cards in your hand. I want to choose you, but like, I'll show you what I'm doing.
Yeah, because
like, here you go.
She definitely has interaction.
And then she's like, hey, this is what I got, Kirkland. Like, here you go. Here's a card I have.
How much does politics and being good at politics affect a game of cEDH?
It's one of those things where, in some cases, it's unfortunate, especially if you don't have like a real social personality, and politics can be a turnoff for cEDH. But it is a very distinct core of the game.
I agree.
You need to be able to bluff. You need to be able to, even if your opponents don't have your best interest at heart, it could be wise to try to make allegiances or try to make agreements. Whether you keep them or not, that's, your conscious.
I hear on there.
If you want to do that, then that's you. At the end of the day, we're all trying to win here. But
yes,
at the same time, it's like good as bad. I'm kind of in the middle. There's times where it's warranted. There's times where I'm like kind of skeevy. I don't really like it.
I definitely had a game not that long ago where like they were talking about moves. I'm like, yo, you're just burning clock. Like
Yeah.
you don't have mana open. Why are you still talking here? Like, and don't tell them what to do. Like, It's not your
Exactly.
turn. It's not your priority. Move on.
That's one of those things where it's like it's like angle shooting, but not really, because like you're trying to run out the clock to force a draw. Is
Oh yeah.
there anywhere to see what the commanders are for this game? It's hard to tell just by the camera. So
In seat 1,
in seat 1, we have, I'll write it out for you, Erinis and Street Urchin.
which is a gruel background where they recur lands from their graveyard, and then you can use an artifact to sack and deal damage. You have Teferi, Temporal Archmage, Pako Haldan, the goodest boy, and Magda in seat.
Pako, Haldan, I did it backwards. It's Haldan,
Pako.
Pako.
I was like, that seems. I like the other way though.
Magda.
Magda.
There you go.
Alright, so we have now Magda's on the stack with 3 mana floating. I think what's going on here, right, is he's not going to be able to make more treasures. Otherwise, I don't think Anna would have let this happen. Right?
Yeah. Like, if we're already at the point to where we're trying to cast Magda, then I don't know. At this point, you can get 2 treasures off of
Car.
3 mana.
When you cast another dwarf and pass.
Maybe a Stax Beast?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Especially because you're still only at 2 mana. Well, 4 mana because Clown Car, right?
Yeah.
Clown Car says it can tap any creature. Correct?
Yeah, for the crew cost. It just has to have a power of 1.
Oh, well, there you go.
Cannot tap it with your Rograth. I mean, I think you can crew it. I just think it doesn't become a creature. Could be wrong. Chat, let me know. Can you crew a
A
zero
zero?
drop? Like a 0/1, an X1?
Can't. I just don't think it changes.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're using another red.
Thinking about it.
Just because will.
Thinking. Doubles on the table.
Discussing. Much deliberation.
Like, hey, why are we here?
What is here, really?
I think we're here to win cash.
Yeah. What is the prize for today?
Lots and lots of money.
Ah?
Pay
Pay my bills? Pay them bills?
and them bill. The actual price structure is first place gets $900.
900,
Second through fourth get $400.
400, and then 5th through 16th gets 7,500, which is just the cost to join was only 50, right?
You believe?
Yeah, so you just get your money back a little extra, get yourself some more cardboard here at game night. Yo.
Oh yeah, down here in Columbia, Tennessee.
Dude, I was talking with Just Corey earlier.
Just Corey?
It's Just Corey, right? This has one of the best collections for Magic cards
Yes.
in the area, and I don't think it's close.
Which I appreciate you saying that because it's one of the things that we pride here at Game Night is having just about everything for everyone.
Yeah,
And just the extent of how deep our collection.
I mean, dude, we're in the back room right now. Like, this back room collection is probably 3 times the size of any other shop I've seen around here.
Let's count the card houses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Yeah.
times
Yeah,
a billion.
yeah. Game night really. I've always come here, never not getting things. Oh, by the way, Magda did pass. No other spells cast this turn.
Did Galvanic Blast? I believe the Teferi. Kill it.
Damn.
Set up.
Test. So Teferi dying again, he will be able to recast it though, like without any problems. Mana Vault coming into play.
Mana Vault.
Mana Vault needs a reprint. It's never needed. Needs a reprint. I think the reserve list is a joke. That's another discussion another time. Another discussion another time though.
Yeah, Blake tells everybody in the Pacific Northwest just game nights. That's the standard.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if it wasn't an hour drive for me from my house, I would be coming here much more often. 100%. It's in close.
So we were activating Goblin Engineer to get
And
back
the
the 3-ball.
3-ball comes back out. Now, wasn't this countered by the Pako Haldan earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, well, not this specific.
The other one was.
The other one was, uh-oh.
But he said, hey,
Do I have a Dakama side? It is a Dakama side on the stack.
That's dock side, so I count 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah,
treasures?
This is going to be juicy. This is a juicy... Yeah.
That is a Tashawn's
Tidebinder. No, who would have thought that Mono Blue had an answer for something, huh?
That hits me right. That hits me right in the feels. Just Tashawn's Tidebinder is just back-breaking for a lot of.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. That's one of those cards like just keep flipping. It's just so mean. It's so mean. The most powerful card in Magic.
The credit card.
The credit card. I don't play by the rules, Yugi. I have money.
I have a briefcase full of money.
Bro. Bro.
We're pointing
telling
and gesturing.
All
We
right,
are
so
passing the turn.
I bet you that dockside was going to be juicy. Something tells me that was about to be a juicy dockside with a big push.
Yes.
Shaw's Time Rider, very clutch. Going ahead and tapping for Teferi. Once again, tapping a Great Monolith, a Gilded Lotus, and a Belwar Stone for a fairy who can now just untap those for more value, but he still only has 1 card in hand.
He's like, I just want more cards, guys. Let me
have it.
You can't have your mana, but I'm going to keep my Planeswalker, and I'm going to dig for what I need. At least 2 cards.
And he plays a Mana Crypt for 3 mana.
Because who doesn't need more mana?
Yeah, I mean, look, Magic is a game of resources, right?
Very true.
Like, very, very often, whoever has the most resources wins the game. And at this point, it's Teferi.
Yes.
By a lot.
He has all the mana rocks. All the lands. That is a Gilded Drake.
Drake. Now, what do you take here?
Uh,
What do you take here? The Magda. Hold on.
Oh.
We have a target on the stack. Hold on there, Anna. We're going to tap it. And we're going to tap it again.
I would like to make treasures, please.
Yeah. Por favor, treasure.
Treasures. There's treasures in them hills.
And now you can have. Now I have a Drake. Gilded Drake. Really, I saw a lot less of it getting played recently, but it's still a great card, right? Like we're still on that page.
It's so good that it got a functional reprint in Modern Horizons 3.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That's right. People are like, it's not the same. It's practically the same.
It's a Gilded Drake that can't be Gilded Draked.
It's wild. That's wild.
They're like, hey, you can have your energy, and we're like, we don't care. It says it can't be targeted by trigger or activated abilities.
Yeah.
It's like get out of my house. You can't have it.
Oh, Wizards, what are you thinking? We got a land drop.
Chris is playing some Soakin' Zan action, said I'm not gonna channel it this time.
What does the red channel do? Gives you creatures, right?
2 devils, I think.
Well, Bolton Duplication, really good card that came out in Outlaws. I'm guessing it's gonna copy the Gilded Drake because it can't target other people's stuff, and he's gonna get that Magda back. That's crazy. And then he's at 4. 4 treasures. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So. Oh, beep boop, beep boop.
What are we doing?
That's
We're...
Bolton Duplication still on the stack.
Oh.
And yeah, it happens. Has a Gilded Drake, a token copy that's just going to die.
Yes.
Right? So not only does he have a Drake, not only does he have the Magda back, but also has pretty much made Anna block.
Yes. The thing is, though, he gets the Magda back, but it stays tapped, notably. So
he has 2 now, and he can tap the automaton anytime.
The third one.
I mean, that's win on board, right? I mean, we're on the same page. That's win on board.
If it's not win on board, it's at least gaining control of the game. If it makes it around a turn.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you still have a Trinisphere to deal with, but Magda's like, I think Magda even plays Trinisphere.
Oh yeah, 100%. Magda cares not for Trinispheres and their things. So we got our Gruul. The red one is Spirits. Blake us know that it's Spirits. That's probably a white thing, isn't it, though? Like, Spirits.
Ever since Strixhaven, they made Spirits like a Boros.
Okay.
Which is weird, because usually it's an Orzhov.
Yeah.
I don't know. Magic Hogwarts is a weird itself.
Magic Hogwarts. Just be hot. Oh, we got an Imp Recruiter. Okay, what do you get with Imp Recruiter in Gruul? Your Goblin Goblin Recruiter? Question mark?
Goblin Recruiter would be really good here.
Because he probably runs the Conspicuous Snoop's lines. Right?
I'm trying to sneak through it. Anglehorn again.
Anglehorn again. That's the
Anglehorn Part 2.
Man, say what you want, but a lot of foils in that deck.
Yes.
Very, very shiny. Very shiny.
It's like that one's shiny, and then that one's shiny.
It's like the crab from Moana.
Tamatoa, it's so shiny.
When I found out who voiced him, that was so funny. Yeah. Brandon does want to bully. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Brandon just wants to bully you.
It's funny. Casting that. Oh, Kiki Jiki. Oh, for another dark side.
Yeah.
That will do a thing. But the problem is he has to wait a whole other turn around, and he may not get to that point.
I think it's just kind of insurance. Like, if I get another turn,
I'm in. I'm done.
It's happening.
And it's not counterable, because you have...
Delighted Halfling.
Yeah, that's right. I knew it started with a D. That Delighted Halfling says that Kiki Jiki is resolving. Now, whether or not it does anything is a totally different ballgame. But it's resolving if it hits. Gets the next turn, we're good to go. Which also tells me, though, what's in his hand.
Very true. Then on top of that, we know that Brandon only has the one card in hand, but we don't know what Haldan Pako has in their hand because
been showing it like a lot.
been like sharing it around the table, except not to Brandon, but Brandon's the odd one out here.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's Brandon.
I mean,
yeah.
if we look at the resources in play and look at who we haven't showed the hand to, it's pretty obvious that you don't want to show it to him.
Now, this is swinging, question mark? We're swinging with, you can't swing with input recruiters, so not that.
You can try, but then it won't happen because then a judge might get called.
Hey, good try, though. Good try. I think the Dockside, by the way, was a really good play considering he only had one card in hand. He just happened to have the Mindbinder. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're attacking with the Delighted Halfling.
Now it's colorless mana anyways, right? Oh yeah, he's just blocking. Uh-oh.
Blocked the Dockside.
Interesting. With the Kiki.
Alright. Conspiracy theories. Alright. If I was Kirkland, here's what I'm going to do. I'm a Kiki Jiki, copy Goblin Engineer, and then I'm going to get whatever I need, like a Cloudstone Curio, and then I'm going to activate Goblin Engineer, and then weld my Transfer away. And then just go off, depending on what's in my hand.
Interesting. I like that play a lot. Goblin Engineer with a Kiki can really do something. Or even a Cursed Mirror.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times I've gotten Cursed Mirror with Goblin Engineer. Like, well, that's not that big of a deal, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's the best creature on the board.
It could be whatever you want it to be. It could even be a boat. There's no boats in play yet. There's clown cars close. It's almost a boat.
I mean, he runs boats, right?
I don't know.
But it could be a boat.
It could be anything you want it to be.
No, Lilian, not poor Brandon. Brandon deserves everything he gets. Everything he gets. I'm kidding. But yeah, no, he's hurting with cards. He's really hurting.
He won the mana crit flip, which, dude, let's say
40.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, we're in turn. I have no clue because we're not making land drops, but it's been a handful of turns.
Oh yeah.
Our life totals are still in the upper 3/4.
Yeah, I mean, which tells me no combats are happening. No one be swinging, and then they do swing. It's like meh.
1 damage.
cEDH at its finest, huh? Grinding and like all this after 7 turns and only 3 lands in play. One person has 1 land in play. Oh, that's rough. That's so rough.
But if they only have 1 land in play, I just can't imagine what that grip is.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know either. Well, Blake, thanks for joining us, and we'll have fun with Ken. Enjoy.
You better win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text you later and ask if you won your pods. Because if you didn't, I'm gonna be disappointed. Because I love Kennen.
What is the link stream?
The link for the stream? They just need to go to twitch.tv/GameNightTN.
So it is
Twitch.tv.
Twitch. That's not how you spell it. Twitch.tv
/ Game Night, all one word. EN.
Get that name out there.
We had quite a bit of showing just from our remote crowd today, getting some eyeballs on this neat tournament. I know the last one, unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties, lost all the footage, but this time,
oh no,
we made sure. That was the first thing I did. It's like, all right, click this button, save the stream.
Save it.
I'm not doing this again. You can't. I'm not going back. You can't make me go back.
Can't make me go back. All right, so we're on
Brandon's turn.
Yep.
He's doing stuff and doing things.
Tapping mana, 2 cards in hand. I mean, this is the scary thing about having this much resources. Like, even with 2 cards in hand, it only takes 1 or 2 cards to just win.
Well, she got the Inventor's Fair as the land per turn, so he could just be like, I'm gonna go get the Chain Veil.
Yup. And for those of you who don't know what Chain Veil does, what it does is it lets you activate Teferi more than once, and even if Teferi dies and he recasts Teferi, he can still use Teferi more than once because it's for the actual turn, not the permanent itself. So that's how Chain Veil works with Teferi. It's super cool. Oh, hey, speaking of the Chain Veil, crazy how that works.
Yeah, the verbatim for Chain Veil is at the beginning of your end step. If you didn't activate a loyalty ability of a planeswalker, you lose 2 life. But if you pay 4 and tap it, for each planeswalker you control, you can activate it again as though it was not activated. I don't know about you, but I think there's at least 4 mana's worth of things to tap.
Yep, I think there is 4 mana worth of things to tap. I can tell you with just 2 permanents, he has 6. So he has more than enough. This is a win right now.
Unless somebody can just stop what's happening.
Yeah.
Because I think Inventor's Fair puts it to hand.
It does put it to hand, but he has more than enough mana to not only cast it, but to activate it, and then activate Teferi, and then activate it again. Like this is game on the line right here. Magda as well, like 1 turn away from doing that as well.
So, conspiracy theories. We've got a Teamer deck that has not done anything, might have interaction. Got Chris over Magda, has 2 treasures up, could do something. We have the Gruul player, no mana up, and a 3-ball. So the 3-ball that the Gruul player has is locking down the other 2 players from casting anything.
And notably, cannot use Engineer.
Correct.
That is rough. This is why Stacks is so hard to play. Because the Stacks piece that is played, which was originally tried to be played by Brandon, is now helping Brandon.
Yes. And it locked out the other 2 players if they had a way to do anything. Which, again, they could have said, oh, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
We wouldn't really know. But at the same point, it's one of those things like sometimes Stacks doesn't really help you. It hurts you more often than not.
More often than not, it does hurt. It's why it is the hardest. It's the hardest to play.
Yes.
We're looking at the Chain Veil again. Brandon is just showing that this is game. Like, it is 100% game.
I can plus, and then I can minus, and then I can plus, and then I can minus, and I can do this enough times to make infinite mana, and basically go through my deck, because you get to pick 1 out of the 2. So
I mean, he just produces infinite mana with enough interactions, like with enough times tapped, right?
Yeah.
And then he casts Teferi like after it dies.
Yes.
And it can activate 7 times, 8 times. So yeah, we're at a point where it's just a slow, like he has it. And he's not gonna mess up this line. It's Brandon. He knows his stuff. So
it's just very meticulous because you have to float the mana, then untap the mana, and you have to also untap the Chain Veil and then activate it. But
Correct.
he has all those mana rocks and enough activations to where at this point.
So he's untapping Soul Ring, Grim Monolith, and Gilded Lotus, which in itself is 8 mana.
Yes.
So every time he activates Chain Veil, which only costs 4 to activate, he is effectively floating 4 mana with every activation. So 4 times 4, 16. He will have 16 mana after Teferi dies, just floating, to recast Teferi and just redo this all over again. Yeah, we are at the end game. Really solid work. Once again, as we talked about, resources matter in this game.
Absolutely. Anna's want to take a closer look, I guess.
No, Anna's sad head on table. Poor Anna. Poor Anna. You know what I bet? I bet Anna actually did have.
And is logged down by the Trinisphere.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
So we're just
He's just walking through the steps with them to show them how to do it.
Going through the motion.
The question here is, are they actually just making him play this out?
I believe.
Because he's floating 2 colorless and 2 blue every time. Right?
I think so.
Yeah. So, like, it's not even the fact of, like, I did the wrong colors here. He just has everything he needs. So, unless this interaction here is, like, a silence effect with, like, I just don't understand what we're doing.
I don't know. I think the other part of this is that there's no win condition in hand. It could be like, okay, we know that you have this, but you need to go through the motions until you show me a win.
Yep. Yep.
Which is valid, you know. It's one of those things where you don't want to trust your opponents. Like, oh, I've got infinite, I win. It's like, well, show me the win.
Yeah, show it to me then. I've definitely had that happen multiple times. Where like, you don't have the win in hand. I didn't want you to walk it all the way through. I'm like, it's Grand Abolisher out, and then sure, they're like, yep, you can mess it up. I'm like, okay, like that's definitely viable, and we are in a tournament. This, and as mentioned earlier by someone, this is for top 16. Like, if you win this, you're in top 16. 11 points in a tournament of this size, you're definitely in.
Yes. But still, just this again, like we said way earlier. These decks being in contention for top 16 is neat because it's not just blue forms that say get in.
Right.
We've got at least something unique going into top 16.
Absolutely. And here's to say this though: the other three decks, it's not like they don't have a shot. They only need one more win.
Correct.
And with their pods, they're not going to see each other again. They're probably going to face someone who's only has one win, if not any. You know?
Or just two, or if you're unfortunate, have like 2 draws, or like a bye and a draw.
Right. So we're really looking at a solid top 16 run here for a couple of people, or potential.
Tapping artifacts, talking about stuff.
Talking eggs, touch. Like Anna is also explaining to them how this is working.
How do we put on deodorant? Fast or slow and sexy? Slow and sexy is $5 per swipe, and fast is $10 per swipe.
Yeah. I mean, the preferred is the slow and sexy.
It's cheaper, but you gotta pay me either way.
Yeah, but I do pay, like, it costs extra for eye contact. So
that's a $10 upgrade.
Oh yeah,
for eye contact.
Worth every penny though. Worth every. Yeah, a lot of people crowded around the table right now. Like, remind them that someone needs to remind them, like, no talkie at the table.
Yeah, don't talk at the table, guys.
Yeah, that is an easy way to get yourself kicked out of a tournament. Like, for sure, I've seen it. Not good.
Like, you can watch, that's fine. Don't be talking.
Oh yeah.
Because if you talk, I'm gonna come over there and someone already called him and said, "Hey, back up from the table."
Crazy how that works. Crazy. You know, just Corey should have told him that. Just Corey. Just Corey.
Or like, just back away from the table, please.
Please. Personal space.
Just back away from the table, please. Look at him. Well, you can't because we're watching.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
We're watching hands being like thrown at board, and they're trying to discuss things.
He does. Say more, Corey.
I see.
But so, he's netting 4 mana every activation. Well, that's true, because he's only netting 16 mana every time. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, wow. Teferi's died that many times? Yeah. Okay, so guys, after all this speculation of us talking, like, it may not be there, and he only has 2 cards in hand. So he only has the activations until... He essentially can cast Teferi one more time after this, and he's done. Okay, so at that point, if he can cast Teferi one more time after this, he can look at the top. There's 5 counters on Teferi, correct?
I think so.
10 cards. He looks at 10 cards. So Guilty. Brandon is determining right now what he needs to do to get the cards he needs to win. He does not have a win in hand, and Teferi is going to essentially die to get mana. and he can only recast Teferi one more time because it costs 16, which is how much he's netting when he does his loop. So after this last cast of Teferi, he will not be able to recast Teferi and can dig, 10 cards deep. But if he doesn't get the win at 10 cards, then he doesn't win. Which gives us back to the Pako Haldan, who's been sandbagging the whole time. No, maybe not.
Maybe.
Oh,
We don't know. We don't know that.
we don't know that. There are conspiracy theories happening right now.
Yeah, conspiracy theory. We just can't tell. We can't tell them what we know.
Yeah.
Of course, Anna's been showing Chris and Kirkland all the things. So
Yeah. So, they know more than we do at this point. I will say, though, that Trinisphere, like you mentioned earlier, probably is, this is what's going to cost things. Plus, remember, even if he does go for the win, with his stuff, is there anything he needs to cast that's under 3 to do things, like Voltaic Key, for instance? I know he uses that a lot to untap, for instance, the One Ring.
you've got that. You've got the One Ring, or under 3. You've got keys.
Yeah, keys. Keys on Van Ice.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, that's a California reference. If none of y'all are from California, man, keys on Van Ice. Come on. Where do you get that one? Yeah. That's why I pay you the big bucks. Yeah. Oh, that's for the other thing. Yeah.
Oh, did you pay for eye contact?
No, he did not pay for eye contact.
Did not pay.
He
For
did
eye
not
contact.
pay for the eye contact, which again, Kyle,
Yeah.
do you work here at Game Night?
Yes and no. So, as a producer of this stream, I also provide all of the graphic art for Game Night Tennessee. So all of the advertising, all of the in-house advertising, such as on the TVs, our website, our Discord, anything social that has graphics and or outreach, I'm directly involved in one way.
Excellent. So you were teasing us a little bit about some merch coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been in the pipeline for a while. It's one of those things we're waiting for the right time to execute on that. Got designs ready. We've got
Sick.
ideas of what we want to have. One of those things where we're just waiting for the right moment to offer those things, whether it be playmats, t-shirts, hoodies.
I'm not saying that with my little baby girl on the way that she needs some game night to keep her warm.
A game night onesie.
You heard it here first. Game night onesies.
Game night onesie.
Yeah. Hot.
No, but there's outside of just Magic, we've looked into things like objective markers for Warhammer. We've looked at some stuff for D&D, like
That's cool.
not necessarily play mats, but like battle mats.
Oh, so we're back. We're back. Okay, so the math. By the way, as a math teacher, seeing Anna do the math on the card like that, very happy. Work shown. Always show your work, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So Brandon is starting to tap and untap his stuff now, right? And it looks like to me he has about 20 mana.
What it's looking like, but I can't see the entire dry erase card.
Well, he's indicating with his dice, right? And I mean, it can't be more than 20 because that's a D20.
Yeah.
That's a spin down. So he is now. He's going to cap out at that. See, yeah, there's the icon right there. He's capping out at that. And with Anna doing the math for Brandon, I would have made Brandon do the math, like straight up.
Very true. We out here to win cash, folks.
Yeah, like you said, 900, right?
For first place.
Yeah, that's almost a bundle right there.
Yeah.
You could buy so much cardboard with $900 at game night.
You could buy like
At least one card.
One dual land,
Depends on dual land, right?
2 dual lands.
You know how many I own? 0. So
Whoa.
that would have been a big haul.
2 dual lands richer.
That's investment right there. I don't care what they say. That's a investment.
That is a reshape being cast.
Ooh, reshape.
Second artifact to get an artifact.
Correct. So what is he grabbing? The One Ring? Question mark.
It doesn't cast.
It doesn't cast. It just puts it on the battlefield, right?
Yes.
But he just needs to draw cards. That's his thing.
Possibly.
That's what he's trying. Or is he getting the key and he already has
If he has a key, that makes this a lot easier.
Yeah, because that's 3 mana that he would not originally have to spend. So reshape, he's tapping down. Well, he has the mana floating. He still has 6 mana floating. It looks like.
They're welding away or reshaping away the Felwar Stone, which is the weakest of all the rocks.
Yeah, only taps for 1 mana, cost 2. Not really doing much when he has a Gilded Lotus and a Mana Crypt and a Soul Ring out, and a Grim Monolith for that matter.
Got a key.
Oh, look at that, the key. Who would have thought?
It is the Voltaic key, not the Manifold key. He is not making things unblockable this game.
Oh, Teferi to Tidebinder unblockable? Tech? Let's go.
That's totally +1/+1 counters on the Tisana Tidebinder, totally not floating mana. There's no swing sideways, and let's see, 108 the table.
Yo. Mono blue Teferi beats? That's what I'm hearing. That's a cooking.
I'm not hearing a no.
Yeah.
There's a Walking Ballista in that deck.
Yeah, there is a Walking Ballista in that deck.
You just need an extra turn spell, or a couple.
Yeah, or 2. No big deal. So we're down to 2 mana. Floating. Tapping the Grim Monolith.
So with Grim Monolith with key, that's 3-1. That's 5 each time you tap and untap. So that just increased the count by 1 doing it that way? No,
because
that way.
No, because he was already doing the Mana Vault. Okay, so now the math goes taps for 6 plus 3. Okay, now I think this is. I don't know if it's infinite still. Oh no, it has to be. Because then after he recast Teferi, how many times has he activated Chainville in this turn? Like he has to know that, man. He has to know that.
I don't think Teferi's died this because he's doing the anticipate and not the untap.
Right.
Because you want 1 anticipate, 1 untap.
But how many times has Chainville been activated? Because he needs those. Needs the number of that if Teferi does die, right?
Well, if Teferi dies and he recasts it, just resets the Chainville trigger.
No, he gets all the activation.
Or he gets the full activations back.
Yeah, but how many does he have?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a lot. I don't know if I anticipate here. Corey, do we know how much time is left was left on the clock when you were out there?
6 minutes.
What do you mean left? Hot dog.
6 whole minutes in the round, folks.
6, as in more than 5, but less than 7? All right.
Are you sure that's how math works? Is that how math works?
I'll have to look at it. I
Right.
have to do my research on it.
You gotta show your work.
Yeah, we already determined showing your work. Oh, wait. Word of invention? Word of invention goes and grabs another key, question mark?
Very possible. 2 keys plus that could do a lot of work.
Yeah. Remember how we were talking about no tutoring restrictions? How much does that matter in this turn?
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, he's tutored 3 times if he does that word of invention?
Yes.
That's crazy. Papo's still a thing in this right now. Really hurts cEDH. It's like it kills Magda for sure. And this would have mattered a lot.
I like how Magda's just chilling. Could eventually tap Universal Automaton, the Clown Car, to make a treasure to have 3 treasures to do something.
It would be hilarious if it were
3 mana Red Blast, just
3 mana. Bow with Teferi on the stack. Get wrecked.
They are gesturing with, like, hey, count.
Let's count. How did Teferi not win yet? Guilty. I'm telling you, dude, I've played against Brandon. He is a wonderful player. This is very typical. Oh my god. Did he get a Mystic Study? Question mark? What is happening? I don't know how he has not won yet, Guilty. I think there's a lot of discussion on the board of like what he can do, like the amount of mana he can tap for, what the loop is. Corey informed us that like he just does not have a deterministic win in his hand, so he has to dig. And even here, Displacerkin is a thing, and then the One Ring. Okay, what is happening right now? This is what he's putting into his hand.
Yeah, I do believe that he is anticipating. So I do believe that they have determined that there is a loop to be had.
Yes. Or he did have Teferi die, and it came back, and then now he just anticipated all those cards with Displacer Kitten on the field, with and a one ring. I'm telling you, he's gonna dig his entire deck right now. He has this. I think he has this.
I keep thinking the judge calls at Brandon's table, and it's absolutely not. I can see the crowd cam, and it's at a different table, but I can hear it through the door.
But for a judge call,
Yeah. There's a Displacer Kitten. Hey, look, a Lotus Petal that he has to cast for 3. Flicker Teferi.
or Teferi.
Like, that's one thing that could happen.
I mean, and then he gets how many activations now? And with
2.
all the cards and then he can just draw. I mean, no, this is now. I think this is over.
Paying 3 for the Mox Opal, Flicker the Teferi, untap some things.
Even with the 3 ball out, like saying, well, you can't just cast, Lotus Petal and Mox Opal like that, like infinitely. Well, maybe not, but he untaps so much mana with Teferi with the Flicker. Like, what did we determine last time? He can float how much mana?
Yes.
Yeah. So
It's a lot.
it's a lot. Like he's going through it, but I think he has it now.
We'll be back in like 10 minutes and say that again.
Yeah.
That's what we did last time.
It's literally what happened last time. Like, yeah, he's got this, and then he dirtles and dirtles and dirtles.
I'm fine with dirtling as long as you're progressing the board state.
Exactly.
As long as you are taking reasonable gain of actions and it is keeping the game state going, then I'm totally cool with it. Don't bring 4 horsemen to a cEDH tournament.
Yo, is that bribery?
Guilty. Yeah, I literally drove from Target to here, and we are still at Teferi trying to win.
Yeah.
Literally drove all the way to Spring Hill, which is 15 minutes away, 30-minute back and forth, and we're still trying to win.
Plus doing the errand itself. Like, that's wild. So once again, a little crowd gathering around the table. Gonna get yelled. I will say, it's an interesting game, though. Looking at what we're doing.
Could be worse. Could be a one-round game, and then you're stuck looking at the crowd again. I would rather look at Brandon shuffle his library and try to figure out what he needs.
Yo, Ewit for the bribery. Ewit grabs what?
A card. Grabs
Bribery.
bribery.
That's
some tech right there.
That's some tech. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the big brain play. Get the bribery.
The bribery flickering the Teferi to steal an Eternal Witness, to get the bribery again, to flicker the Teferi, to steal something else. We are now at time. So it'll either be a win or it'll be a draw.
Boy, if we went through all this for a draw,
I'm going to be upset.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to be real upset. I'm going to walk over and be like, all of you.
Yeah. Like, for real.
How did you let this happen?
You know what sucks is that he can't flicker the Eternal Witness.
Yeah, because it'll go back to
It'll go back to
Kirkland.
Yeah. Fabricate.
All right, we fabricate now.
Sure. You can get back what, Brandon? Walking Ballista. Basalt Monolith. Basalt Monolith, Walking Ballista, and shoot the table. Yes. There you go. I think we have a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe. We're thinking about it. This is more deterministic than the other thing.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting to see them cards being scooped.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Wait for it. We're scooping up cards. You're thinking about it? Anna had the Torpor Orb in hand. We're scooping up cards?
Scooping up cards. All there right. We go. Brandon takes it with Mono Blue Teferi, the slowest of plays. Yeah, that was a lot. I feel like there's a less convoluted line, but honestly, good win for him. Good win.
Oh, absolutely. It's nice to see a weird deck, or I wouldn't say weird, an older deck like that win to get into top 16. But what a slog.
Yeah, I mean, this came down to he had more resources from the beginning, and that Tangle Wire really slowed down the board. And then from there, not Corey.
I'm not Corey.
Not Corey.
I'm Kyle.
Facts. After that Tangle Wire slowed down the board, it became a game of who had more resources in the end.
Absolutely. Looking at, they were showing some of the hands. Pako Haldan had a Torpor Orb that was stuck in hand, and then the Gruul player had a Batter Golem with Kiki Jiki.
What is Batter Golem?
If you when it enters a play, untap, so it goes infinite with Kiki.
There you go.
So it's another untapping effect in colorless. So if the dog side would have stayed alive, copy the dog side, which then gets Batter Golem, which then untaps the Kiki Jiki. Goes infinite.
GG's. Yeah, Kiki Jiki lines of Gruul is still a classic thing, right? Again, really good play by everyone here. I thought that the dockside was well timed. Brandon just happened to have the answer necessary to do it, which happens a lot. I mean, like again, the old turbo mindset is like make them have it, right?
Yes.
Make them have it.
If you don't have it, then I win.
Yeah, and if you do, you had it anyways, so it don't matter, right?
But anyways, we're gonna get probably Corey back up here, and then we're gonna let Kellen take a break, and then I'll let y'all look at the cool crowd that we've got going on out there, and we will be back with your round 4.
Round 4 coming soon, guys.
Toodles. Be back in a bit.